Sir, you are on mute, sir. We are not able to hear you.
No, I'm muted it purposely. That
No,
when the
sir.
program
No, sir.
begins.
Not you, sir. From Electronics Niketan.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rao.
Hear me? Was this not
Yes,
tested?
sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear, sir.
Now it's clear? Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So, anyway, sorry for the glitch. But
Sir.
we are just starting the event. Our Honorable Minister will be joining in 10-15 minutes.
Right,
but
sir.
he is directed to start the event on time.
Sir.
So, very good afternoon to everyone, and I welcome all the distinguished guests, all the participants, and all those who have joined us virtually for the inauguration function of the second batch of online PG diploma program in cyber law, in cybercrime investigation and digital forensics. This program, as we all know, has been launched by Ministry of Electronics and IT, and the first batch has already completed their program. And in today's function, Honorable Minister will also be virtually distributing the digital PG diploma certificates for the first batch, which has completed the course. As we all know, cybercrime investigation and digital forensics is one of the biggest challenges that we are facing today as a country, as a society, as part of the administration, as part of the police, as part of the judiciary. What we've seen is that in the last few years, while the adoption of digital solutions, digital products have gone up, and more people are on the internet, are using e-services for accessing public services as also financial services. At the same time, the threat and the chances of getting caught in a cyber crime has also gone up. Every day we hear of stories about how people have lost money because they scanned a QR code, how people have lost money because they gave an OTP, how cyber stalking happens, how cyber bullying happens, how various kinds of crimes are conducted on dark web. So having the requisite skill sets for handling cyber crime within the government, within the police machinery and the judiciary is very, very important. So towards this objective, in order to equip police officers, law enforcement agencies and judicial officers with the latest digital forensic skills so that they are able to handle cybercrime investigations and they are one step ahead of the cyber criminals, this program was conceptualized in association with NLIU Bhopal and NLU Delhi. NLU Bhopal has been and NLU Delhi have been our partners in running this program, and without their help, we would not have been able to run this program so effectively. And given the success of the first batch, this program has also become part of Mission Karamyogi, which is the national program for capacity building for civil services. So under this program, all trainings of all government officers across departments will be done through an e platform, through an LMS platform. And this LMS platform on which this program is being run is one of the key components that will contribute towards the Mission Karamyogi. The first batch, we saw very extensive participation from officers across the country. More than 500 officers completed, and I'm told almost 280 plus officers have completed the course, also passed the exam, and are getting the PG diploma certificates today also. As we go ahead, for this year, when we invited nominations, we have got a very extensive response. In fact, we were asking for nominations for around 1,000 officers, so hoping that 500 will complete the course. But I am overwhelmed with the response that we have got from across the country. More than 1,600 officers have registered for the course. And this includes almost 98 IPS officers, 98 state service officers, 700 plus inspectors and other police officers. We have got a lot of almost 171 officers from the judiciary, including district judges, including chief judicial magistrates, including civil judges, including additional public prosecutors. We also have nominations from Ministry of Finance, Department of Customs and Income Tax. Officers have been nominated. IRS officers have been nominated. We have officers from MHA, from various paramilitary forces who have enrolled for this course. And we also have officers from CBI and Ministry of Defense, Navy, who have enrolled for the course, including, and we also have officers from various government departments, MAITI officers, NIC officers, and others and other government departments. So the response that we have got is very extensive. Now it is up to us to ensure that the content quality, we make it as good as it was. to ensure that we have the best of the experts from the digital law universities and from the cyber world who come and share their sessions and ensure that we are able to complete this program with success and give the necessary skill sets to all our police officers and judicial officers. This batch program, the key highlights is that we will have more than 100 hours of immersive and self-paced e-content which will be created, which will be used for running this program. We will also ensure that the officers who have enrolled for the course, they will undergo training at the cyber forensics labs, which is being established at NLU Delhi. And we are also looking at partnering with other similar forensics labs which are existing in the country, in other states, whether it's in the Gandhinagar or in other states where they are there, so that till such time the NLU Delhi facility comes up, we'll be able to impart training in other institutions also. And ultimately, from what the feedback that we get is that maybe every state does require a cyber forensics lab, given the number of cyber crime cases that the way they are growing up. So at the end, I once again welcome all our participants, all our guests of honors who have joined us today. I'm extremely grateful to NLIU Delhi, NLIU Bhopal. Without their support, it would not have been possible to run this program. So with these, I welcome all the participants who have enrolled for the current batch and also congratulate all those who will be getting the PG diploma certificates for having completed the course in the first batch. So welcome and thank you all for this program. Now, before we start the formal program, I would like to play a short video of on this whole program, which explains various components of the PG diploma program. Can we have the video, please?
While the dawn of the
Play the video, please.
While the dawn of the digital age has revolutionized our lives, it has also created many challenges for netizens. Law enforcement agencies are facing complex challenges in conducting cybercrime investigations. These include lack of a trained workforce, lack of standard frameworks indicating the required skill sets, and lack of resources in training academies and institutes. The National E-Governance Division, NeGD, in association with the National Law Institute University, NLIU Bhopal, and other institutions under the Digital India program, has taken up the initiative to offer a 9-month online PG diploma in cyberlaw, cybercrime investigation and digital forensics, and practical training in a phased manner to 1,000 officials, including police, state cyber cells, law enforcement agencies, prosecutors and judicial officers through the Digital India Learning Management System, LMS, developed by NeGD. The program aims to enable officials with the requisite skills to deal with cybercrime cases and use digital forensics efficiently and effectively in accordance with the laws of India, while adopting best practices, standards, and guidelines. The program will feature a comprehensive e-learning system, classroom management, assessment management, authoring tool, virtual classroom, skill gap, and competency mapping. Participants will have access to state-of-the-art cyber forensics lab established at the National Law University, Delhi, for continuous training in hybrid mode with involvement of academia and industry partners. The 100+ hours of immersive and self-paced e-learning content will further help in increasing the number of skilled resources with state police, law enforcement agencies, judiciary, enabling a network of experts from diverse fields. Course Cytrain Setu offered on a digital platform. All citizens, irrespective of location in India, can participate. The first batch of the program received an overwhelming response. we had 500 plus participants from various departments of central state governments from diverse backgrounds. 84 live sessions conducted in virtual class formats and webinars. 160 hours of learning content and 78 reading materials developed for the course purposes. All live sessions are recorded and uploaded in NeGD LMS. The participants who are unable to attend the live sessions can access the recorded sessions through NeGD LMS in self-paced learning mode through web and mobile applications. Over 250 participants qualified for a PG diploma from the National Law Institute University, Bhopal. Let's take a look at what the participants have to say. Testimonial 1. Ms. Nagma Khan, Civil Judge, Budaun, UP. Judge Ms. Nagma Khan said, she was enthralled to participate in the capacity building program on Cyberlaw. She is hopeful that the knowledge gained from experts will assist her greatly in tackling the challenges posed by the digital age. Testimonial 2. Mr. Hemant Priyadarshi, IPS Batch 1992, Rajasthan, ADGP. He has been able to learn about crime investigation and digital forensics, as well as legal concepts, digital forensic aspects, and real-life case studies from very competent and articulate experts of respective domains. Testimonial 3. Mr. Jocelyn D'Souza, Superintendent, CGST, Pune. For Mr. Jocelyn, the enriching training program experience has been due to its structured and well-organized lecture recording availability in Learning Management System. The availability of experienced and professional facilities for every topic has been very helpful. As a successful participant, he can put digital forensic tools to real-time use, which has led him to resolve many essential tax evasion cases. This program is part of Mission Karmayogi, which seeks to build competency-based capacity building of government officers. Mission Karmayogi aims to prepare civil servants for the future by making them more creative, constructive, and innovative through transparency and technology. Robust cyber laws can conquer cyber crimes. Let us empower ourselves with Cytrain Setu.
Thank you. Thank you. This video gave the complete details about the program and what all it's seeking to do. Now it's my honor and privilege to welcome amongst us Professor Dr. V. Vijay Kumar, Vice Chancellor of the National Law University, Bhopal, who have been one of the pillars behind this whole program. So I would request Professor Vijay Kumar to kindly address us.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Shri Ashwini Vaishnav, the Minister, who is yet to join. Justice A.P. Sahi, former Chief Justice of Madras High Court and Director of National Judicial Academy, Bhopal. Shri Alkesh Kumar Sharma, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India. Shri Abhishek Singh, IAS President and CEO, NeGD, Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India, who has been instrumental in supporting the venture right from the word go. My colleague Sri Krishna Deva Rao, who has given a wonderful place for the Cyber Forensic Lab in Delhi. Sri Jaspal Singh, DGP, Goa. Sri Deepak Goel, GC Cyberlaw. The person behind this, Sri Silo Rao, Mr. Maheshwari, and his team, Firoz, Pooja Mishra, and others. And my colleague, Dr. Atul Kumar Pandey. Invitees, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. It is indeed heartening to note that the small discussion that took place in NeGD has led to one of the beautiful and excellent programs of teaching learning method, which I think NeGD has taken up very seriously. And I sincerely and wholeheartedly appreciate the efforts taken by Sri Abhishek Singh and his entire team in this venture. This program has been very successful, as was already pointed out, with 258 officers getting the certificate today, and the rest of them are yet to take the exam due to some reason or the other. They could not take the exam, and hopefully they will also complete this course in the next few months. Now, I am also happy to note that the PG diploma in the Cyberlaw course has been declared as 11th out of 50 LMS during the recent Digital India Week, inaugurated by the Prime Minister recently in Gujarat. We are happy to launch the second batch of this program today, and also unveiling of dedicated Cyber Setu NeGD LMS instance for this second batch, and also simultaneously distribute the certificates virtually, of course, to all those 258 successful candidates. This particular course itself is an excellent example for the interdisciplinary approach between law and technology. It is not that somebody is too good in law or somebody is too good in technology, but it is a harmonious mixture of both law and technology. And that is the beauty of this entire course. And this is what the National Education Policy 2020 is also speaking about. Bringing multidisciplinarity in the curriculum that we need to, teach in the universities. And therefore, this course is one such proof for a wonderful collaboration between law and technology, not only between law and technology as a subject matter, but between the institutions, various law schools and the NeGD. I think this is a standing proof, and therefore it is very well being appreciated by everyone. Yet, this is only a small beginning. A small beginning because multidisciplinarity does not include only law and technology. There are various other dimensions in this venture. I feel that disciplines like management, public administration, public policy, sociology, criminology, economics, and the like should also play a meaningful role in bringing a holistic approach in tackling this crime in the years to come. In this regard, the NLIU will be happy to host a research center bringing all the disciplines together and all the institutions together so that it can be an asset to the country in the years to come. And whatever is to be done from our side, we'll be too happy to venture out in this regard so that it is easier for us to refer to at least one particular center or group of centers who could take up different ventures and do something concrete for the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. This entire course, in my opinion, is based on one single objective. If I am not mistaken, I think the objective is prevention, protection, and prosecution. 3 P's: prevention, protection, and prosecution of cyber crimes as the only objective. And I hope that the Ministry of Electronics and IT would continue to support the NLIU and the consortium of national law universities for a long-standing and fruitful collaboration between the industry and the academia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Vijay Kumar, and I look forward to continuing with working with you in order to ensure that this program also reaches its objectives. I'm also like to mention that we also have amongst us the METI officers who have been supportive of us, which has led to the success of this program. I'd like to mention Rakesh Maheshwari ji, who has been guiding us as part of the GC Cyberlaw and has been part of the core team which led to development of this program. Mr. Deepak Goel, who is supporting us with his expertise now and will be doing so in the days to come. My colleague Shilu Rao, Banali, and the entire Cyberlaw division who have been working relentlessly for the success of this program. They are also present here today virtually. I would also like to invite Honorable Justice Amreshwar Pratap Shahi, who is the Director of the National Judicial Academy and former Chief Justice of Honorable High Court of Madras, to kindly address us with his insights.
Thank you very much, Mr. Singh. Congratulations for having organized this program. And of course, I'm thankful to Professor Dr. Vijay Kumar, who introduced me to this program, all respected dignitaries online. This problem was visualized long back by our academy. And as a matter of fact, with the help of the government, Ministry of External Affairs, we have been able to organize many exchange programs with the Federal Judicial Center at Washington. And they have been coming to the National Judicial Academy, and we have been sending judges to their training centers in the United States, where the core area of concern was collection, preservation, and presentation of evidence. This also involves, obviously, the investigating agencies at the first instance. So the purity of evidence has to be preserved, and that is the first thing that has to be taken note of. Unless the purity of evidence is maintained, I do not think that any prosecution will yield any result, fruitful result. So it is the investigation part which needs more intensive handling. And of course, with the forensic labs that have been announced, and they are being brought up throughout the country, this might help to a great extent in reducing our miseries regarding prosecution, more particularly for the judiciary, when it is not easy to handle cases in the absence of evidence. But with technology, now what we have learned from the United States is that they are now slightly converging towards the police mode of evidence instead of the due process mode. The reason is that crimes like terrorism, they cannot be simply handled by adopting due process, and it results most of the time in failure. But when the police mode is adapted with the help of technology, of course, criminals and terrorists are not able to dilute at least the evidence which is collected technologically correctly, and which is, of course, subject to any dispute being raised by the defense. But nonetheless, the courts are in a better position to believe such evidence. Under the Indian Evidence Act, we all know a fact is said to be proved, a fact in issue is said to be proved when, after considering the entire material on record, the court or the judge comes to the conclusion on the basis of a prudent reasoning. So that prudential test empowers the court to believe what is correct. And I think the judges are more comfortable when they find electronic evidence coming in. But the law for the time being is not supporting them to the extent that is needed. And the reason is the eminent people sitting here would kindly convey this message to the government that we are in urgent need. The judges who come for their courses and discourses at the National Judicial Academy, we have shared it, and that is a collective opinion of the most of the judges of the country, that the Indian Evidence Act needs to be revamped, more particularly Section 65B. The eminent panelists and I find police officials also, they must be aware of Arjun Pandit Rao's recent case on Section 65B. It leads us practically in the hands of Section 65B without going any further. But what should we do? Rather, we means the entire system of governance, including the government and the lawmaking agencies, is contained in that part of the judgment which has been authored and supplemented by the second judge sitting in the bench, Honorable Justice V. Ramasubramaniam. And I will request all the eminent panelists to kindly have a look at that part of the judgment which traces the entire history of this part of evidence, because 65B has its precursor in the UK Act, and the UK, United Kingdom, has scrapped it long back in 1999. Unfortunately, I don't know, we are still talking of modern age and development and all these things, but it is lagging behind, far lagging behind. And in spite of repeated reminders by the Supreme Court in many of the judgments, I think the legislature is yet to awaken itself to this challenge. Well, the next thing is that I would like to suggest, since we have a very short time, that whatever be the training modules that you suggest for such programs, please invite the world's best forensic experts, which you can very easily get, whether it is the Federal Judicial Center in Washington, or whether it is in Australia, or for that matter, any other country catering to this type of training on terrorism. I think this will go a long way to help you in understanding as to how other countries are tackling it. Mere projection of literature or asking your participants to go on the internet and learn from it may not have that impact, because unless you have people with eye-to-eye contact and with real practical illustrations, it doesn't help much. So, I find there are many police officials, and I'm reminded of that form of technology that was adopted. For example, we take the help of police dogs. Canine evidence has not yet developed to that extent, except for just smelling a few drugs and, of course, a little bit of gunpowder. It can go beyond that. The technology is in this field quite developed in in Eastern Europe, Western Europe, and as well as other countries abroad who have taken this technology far ahead. But this training program regarding cybercrime, there is one more field which I would like to wrap up with, because we don't have enough time. That is cryptocurrency. We are talking of dark webs, dragons, and all these things. What about cryptocurrency? How are we going to investigate, adjudicate, and even instill faith in the public at large? There is no method for the time being in now. So I think this is the right time that before the government announces any recognition to this form of economy, even though the government has said that we will tax it accordingly, but taxing will not help unless that form of currency is either remotely recognized or even legally recognized. So how do judges and investigating agencies prosecute people with such sort of crimes which involves cryptocurrency? I think these are issues. There is a lot to say, but nonetheless, I will just end by saying I today ended a program with regard to judicial officers from all over the country. There was one judicial officer from one town known as William Nagar in Meghalaya, and he said that, sir, we are unable to operate the case information system because we don't have internet, and disruptions are so large that we don't have internet facilities in those areas for almost 5 to 10 hours at a time. Well, this is a forum where you have the honorable minister who deals with it. Maybe this message cuts across and the judiciary is helped out in this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Justice Shahi. In fact, your points that you have raised are very relevant, whether it's with regard to the Indian Evidence Act or the cryptocurrency, and more importantly, with regard to getting the experts to come and address the participants in this program. We look forward to getting your ideas, your suggestions, and look forward to support from National Judicial Academy to identify the experts who can help run this program in the days to come. So thank you once again. We have more than my team says that more than 521 officers are currently online, which is a very high number for any such training programs that we run. Next, I welcome Professor Dr. Sri Krishna Deva Rao, the Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Delhi, who have been again a very important supporter, partner, and pillar of support that we have. And we have also been thankful to NLU Delhi for giving us space for setting up the cyber forensics laboratories. So thank you, sir, and I request Professor Sri Krishna Deva Rao to kindly address us.
Thank you, sir. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this ceremonious day in the presence of all esteemed guests. Good afternoon to all attending this virtual event. It gives me immense pleasure to interact with you all today. The successful participants of the first batch of the online program will receive the certificates of this capacity building program. With the proliferation of the digital and information technology, the incidence of cybercrime has increased tremendously, with almost 88% rise in the cases registered as per the NCRB data within a short span of 4 years from 2018 to 2021. Thus, while digital technology has led to unimaginable growth and progress, the security concerns that arise with its use also grow by the day. Justice Amareshwar Pratap Ji and Professor Vijay Kumar sir has underscored this point. The measures to respond to such concerns of cybersecurity have therefore also evolved, both to prevent cyber crimes and to investigate them once they occur. Further, digital forensic has also emerged as an important tool, not only to detect various types of cyber and computer crimes, but it can also provide important leads to investigate other types of traditional crimes. With this aim in mind, the capacity building program caters to a wide range of stakeholders spanning across law enforcement, prosecution, judiciary, cyber cells, and other government officers. Cybercrime prevention is a complex process as it deals with monitoring and examination of different types of devices and domains. These include computer or mobile devices, networks, IP address, and social media tracking, software decryption, database study, and malware detection. The various aspects of a person's technological activities are protected through a multifaceted cybersecurity regime, including the Supreme Court's Justice Puttaswamy judgment also has to be respected in letter and spirit. Additionally, a cybersecurity regime must address a heterogeneous set of offenses ranging from economic crimes like cyber laundering to crimes that impact personal integrity, such as identity theft or sexual harassment. Any regulatory or investigative framework to respond to cyber crimes must necessarily grapple with these heterogeneous problems, and we must also overcome from this. I'm proud to share that as a part of our commitment, National Law University Delhi is working in conjunction with the NeGD as part of this program to develop a state-of-the-art computer forensic laboratory on our campus to impart similar training and contribute to the transformation of cybercrime response and the practice of digital forensic India. I'll just conclude by saying that we're also proud that the second batch has 4 times the number of participants in the first batch and hope to see this trend continues in future. I would like to congratulate the first batch on their successful completion of the diploma course and wish similar success to the incoming batch. I'm once again thankful for giving me this opportunity to share some thoughts and ideas.
Thank you, Professor Rao, and I look forward to your help and support in getting to operationalize the cyber forensics lab. And I'm sure with the increase in the number of participants that we have this year, and if all of them end up completing that, we'll be requiring much more help from not only NLU Delhi, but other NLUs and other institutions wherein we may be required to put up cyber forensics lab. Otherwise, bringing 1,600 people all the way to Delhi might not be very feasible and practical. So we would look forward to your suggestions and ideas in how we can expand such a facility in other parts of the country also. I am also privileged to welcome Shri Jaspal Singh, IPS, Director General Police Goa, who is present here today for the launch of this function from his extremely busy schedule. And we welcome you. And police officers are a very important part of this entire training program. And we have got very good feedback from the officers who took part in the training program in the first batch. And I would be happy to listen to the views of Shri Jaspal Singh, Director General Police Goa.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Shri Ashwini Vaishnav, sir. Honorable Justice Shri Amreshwar Pratap Sahi, Director, National Judicial Academy and formerly Chief Justice of High Court of Chennai. Dr. Shri Krishna Dev Rao, Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Delhi. Dr. Vijay Kumar, Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Bhopal. Shri Abhishek Singh, sir, President and CEO, National E-Governance Division, Mr. Deepak Goyal from the Cyberlaw Division of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It's my great pleasure that today I'm participating in the launch of this second course on cybercrime investigation. It's indeed a very significant day in our war against cybercrime, as more than 1,600 officers from civil services, police organizations, armed forces, judiciary, and prosecution, they will be joining this course, second batch of online PG course, and 258 participants would be getting certificates for having completed this course. In fact, the law enforcement agencies are facing numerous challenges because of the complexity of the cyber world, because it's a massive community of billions of users and websites. The problem is it is created by engineers and populated by masses whose literacy level varies from illiteracy to highly professional people. So therefore, the cyberspace looks different to different people. For some, it may be a means of getting knowledge. For some, it may be a space to make money, for example, e-commerce. And for others, it may be a means of entertainment. So every participant in this cyberspace looks differently, and he has different capabilities to assess the vulnerabilities of the cyberspace. While we were conducting cyber awareness programs, we came to know that people make extensive use of devices, of websites, of applications, but they are very rarely aware about the vulnerabilities they are exposing themselves. In fact, this scenario is changing very fast due to the emergence of artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud computing, Internet of Things, blockchain, augmented reality, virtual reality, and now the metaverse is also transforming our lives in every possible way. In fact, even within the police organization also, there is a considerable digital literacy asymmetry, because the inspectors who have put in 20 years of service, they are not well versed with the digital technology, whereas the law mandates that the investigation of a cyber crime is to be carried out by a officer of the rank of inspector. But we have seen that, sir, most of the work is done either by the young constables or by the young sub-inspectors, because they are the new breed who have been exposed to information technology. So therefore, the major chunk of work is done by this segment. So we have decided that inspector to DSP and SPs should also join this course, so that they are able to supervise the cases in a more efficient and professional manner, and they are able to appreciate the digital evidence. So therefore, we are indeed grateful to the National E-Governance Division that they have launched this course, which is very flexible, and the content can be downloaded from Learning Management System. And in fact, the biggest challenge related to cybercrime is its anonymity of the criminal. In fact, it needs to be distinguished from the physical crime. In physical crime, the street crime takes place on streets, in by-lanes, in houses, and even in the shopping complexes. So based on temporal and spatial analysis, the police agency can redeploy its resources, can redefine the pattern of the patrolling. But the cyber crime is so complex because of anonymity and because of the lack of databases on various cyber criminals. Because in other physical crimes, we maintain extensive databases, and from the signatures on the scene of offense, sometimes we get significant clues that this crime should have been done by so and so criminals. whereas this is not the case in case of cyber crimes. And the cybercrime are increasing at a very sharp pace, because 60.8% crimes have taken place in the area of cyber frauds. People are losing money. A common man who has a few thousand money in his or her account, if he loses 50,000 rupees, so he goes to the bank, and sometimes the bank is not able to give a proper reply, and he then runs to the police station, and the police station, the duty officer, who is a head constable sitting in the police station, is not able to appreciate the urgency of investigation. Although we have launched the 1930 helpline, but that is also of limited use, because by the time people make a call to the 112, the precious time is already lost. So this course will definitely go a long way in educating our sub-inspectors, inspectors, deputy superintendent of police, and the superintendent of police in appreciating the digital evidence and learning the cyber forensics, and also getting knowledge, skills, and tools to deal with the cyber crime, which is increasingly going higher and higher. And I'm again grateful to the NeGD that they have launched this course. In fact, sir, I am myself joining this course just to lead the team and motivate the officers, so that they are able to attend the classes, and they are able to later discuss the content learned by them with me. So I'm indeed grateful to the ministry and the division that they have launched this course, and it will definitely go a long way in enhancing the capacity building of not only law enforcement officers, but the prosecutors, judges, civil servants, and other armed forces officers also. And it will also help us in other way also, sir, because when we send some proposal to the government for acquisition of certain cyber tools, sometimes the administrative functionaries are not able to appreciate the need and requirement of that particular cyber tool. So some of the civilian officers are also joining this course, so that will also enable the law enforcement officers in acquisition of the latest tools, technology, and other instruments. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Jaspal Singh ji, and thank you for your suggestions, insights, and we welcome you for the course also. I'm honored and privileged to welcome our Honorable Minister for Electronics and IT, Railways and Communications, Shri Ashwini Vaishnav ji, amongst us today, under whose guidance and leadership we have been implementing all Digital India projects. And with his suggestions and with his advice, this program is also being launched, which will go a long way in building the capacities of our police officers and judicial officers. Sir, we have with us Vice Chancellor from National Law University, Professor Dr. Vijay Kumar amongst us today, who have already given his suggestions regarding the program. We have Honorable Justice Amreshwar Pratap Shahi ji, sir. He is the Director of the National Judicial Academy and a former Chief Justice of the Honorable High Court, Madras. He also had certain suggestions, and now we will be looking forward to the support of National Judicial Academy for getting experts for running this program. So we also have Professor Dr. Shri Krishna Deva Rao, the Vice Chancellor of the National Law University, Delhi, who has been a partner with us in the program, sir, and they have also given a floor in the NLU campus at Dwarka, on which we are setting the cyber forensics laboratory, wherein all the trainees will undergo the training program. But sir, given, and of course, Jaspal Singh, DGP Goa, is already also with us, sir. But given the response, sir, we had called for 500 applications, we have got 1,600 applications. We have got applications from around 100 IPS officers, from IS officers, from district judges. Around 68 district judges are there, 700 plus revenue service officers are there, and we also have officers on CBI and Indian Army. So we are thinking of partnering with other NLUs also, because we'll be needing many more forensics laboratories. We're also tying up with the Forensics University in Gandhinagar for ensuring that we will be able to conduct the training in a distributed format also. So this is the background, sir. So without taking any more time, sir, I would just ask my team to play a short video which captures the essence of this whole program.
While the dawn of the digital age has revolutionized our lives, It has also created many challenges for netizens. Law enforcement agencies are facing complex challenges in conducting cybercrime investigations. These include lack of a trained workforce, lack of standard frameworks indicating the required skill sets, and lack of resources in training academies and institutes. The National E-Governance Division, NeGD, in association with the National Law Institute University, NLIU Bhopal, and other institutions under the Digital India program, has taken up the initiative to offer a 9-month online PG diploma in cyberlaw, cybercrime investigation and digital forensics and practical training in a phased manner to 1,000 officials, including police, state cyber cells, law enforcement agencies, prosecutors and judicial officers through the Digital India Learning Management System, LMS, developed by NeGD. The program aims to enable officials with the requisite skills to deal with cybercrime cases and use digital forensics efficiently and effectively in accordance with the laws of India, while adopting best practices, standards, and guidelines. The program will feature a comprehensive e-learning system, classroom management, assessment management, authoring tool, virtual classroom, skill gap, and competency mapping. Participants will have access to state-of-the-art cyber forensics lab established at the National Law University, Delhi, for continuous training in hybrid mode with involvement of academia and industry partners. The 100+ hours of immersive and self-paced e-learning content will further help in increasing the number of skilled resources with state police, law enforcement agencies, judiciary, enabling a network of experts from diverse fields. Course Cytrain Setu offered on a digital platform. All citizens, irrespective of location in India, can participate. The first batch of the program received an overwhelming response. We had 500+ participants from various departments of central state governments from diverse backgrounds. 84 live sessions conducted in virtual class formats and webinars. 160 hours of learning content and 78 reading materials developed for the course purposes. All live sessions are recorded and uploaded in NeGD LMS. The participants who are unable to attend the live sessions can access the recorded sessions through NeGD LMS in self-paced learning mode through web and mobile applications. Over 250 participants qualified for a PG diploma from the National Law Institute University, Bhopal. Let's take a look at what the participants have to say. Testimonial 1. Ms. Nagma Khan, Civil Judge, Gurgaon, UP. Judge Ms. Nagma Khan said, she was enthralled to participate in the capacity building program on cyberlaw. She's hopeful that the knowledge gained from experts will assist her greatly in tackling the challenges posed by the digital age. Testimonial 2. Mr. Hemant Priyadarshi, IPS Batch 1992, Rajasthan, ADGP. He has been able to learn about crime investigation and digital forensics, as well as legal concepts, digital forensic aspects, and real-life case studies from very competent and articulate experts of respective domains. Testimonial 3. Mr. Jocelyn D'Souza, Superintendent, CGST, Pune. For Mr. Jocelyn, the enriching training program experience has been due to its structured and well-organized lecture recording availability in Learning Management System. The availability of experienced and professional facilities for every topic has been very helpful. As a successful participant, he can put digital forensic tools to real-time use, which has led him to resolve many essential tax evasion cases. This program is part of Mission Karmayogi, which seeks to build competency-based capacity building of government officers. Mission Karmayogi aims to prepare civil servants for the future by making them more creative, constructive, and innovative through transparency and technology. Robust cyber laws can conquer cyber crimes. Let us empower ourselves with Cytrain Setu.
Thank you. So this is the background, and as was mentioned, sir, a lot of response from the previous batches, and they have been like having active members who have been very actively participating in the courses. And this course is also available in an instructor-led format. And later on, people can, if they miss the classes, they can also come back and view the content and learn the lessons on a self-paced model. And this course is also going to become part of the Mission Karm Yogi IGOT platform. With this, now I would request Honorable Minister to inaugurate the second batch of online PG diploma program in Cyberlaw, Cybercrime Investigation, and Digital Forensics by pressing the button. I will also request Honorable Minister to press the button for distribution of digital PG diploma certificates to 258 successful participants in the first batch of the program. Now I would request our Honorable Minister to kindly address all the participants. More than 520 participants are logged online, sir, from across the country who will be joining this course, as also some of them who are getting the certificates, and of course the distinguished guests of honor who are present here today.
Very distinguished guests who are present in this ceremony, Professor Vijay Kumar, Mr. Justice Sahi, Professor Devarao, Professor Mr. Jaspal Singh ji, and many IPS officers, district judges, many more participants who have got imbibed the spirit of being a student once again from being a professional to once again being a student, and my very dear colleagues in the ministry. I congratulate all of you for this great initiative. This initiative is part of Prime Minister's Mission Karm Yogi. And Mission Karm Yogi is a very, very interesting vision in which Honorable Prime Minister has given the target to all the ministries to come up with really innovative programs. I'll give you the example of Railway and Post. In Railway, by now, more than 1 lakh officials have been trained to be more customer friendly, to make sure that their behavior is oriented towards service rather than being an officer. So that kind of mindset, of course, it doesn't, it requires multiple iterations for people to change their mindset. But that is the kind of effort that the government is putting in to bring a change in the way officers and officials conduct their work. I'm very happy to know that a large number of practicing professionals have joined this course, which include even 56 district judges, IAS officers, IPS officers, inspectors, public prosecutors, magistrates, officers from the tax department, CBI, and many other officers. It's a very good sign. It is also the need of the times. I wouldn't speak more about what is the importance of cyber law, because all the other speakers have given your views, and I was listening to the views. Very extensive debate has already happened here. One request I'll make the ministry is that please select 10 more institutes in which this kind of course can be conducted. And I will request the National Judicial Academy to take a look at the previous courses, make your suggestions in what further changes do we need to have in this course. And we should start this course in at least 10 more institutes. At least one of them should be in Northeast. It should be geographically spread out so that officers who feel the need to go to a nearby institute, they are able to get the best possible learning outcomes. I'll also request that in some of the cases, try use the regional languages so that the gap between those who understand English very well and those who do not, that gap can also be fulfilled, because digital world doesn't make that differentiation when the crimes are committed and offenses are perpetuated. So we might as well make sure that each and every person gets the right inputs so that people can gear themselves up. Even if they don't understand, at least they are able to recognize when a situation is there where they need guidance from somebody else who knows more. So this is a small request I'll make the department, and I hope the department has been very proactive so far, and they will come up with 10 institutes in the coming few months. I'll also request the judicial community to come up with more suggestions based on your experience in the day-to-day working of the our judicial system. We are coming up with a complete overhaul of the cyber laws. Very soon we will be coming up with a new telecom bill. I'm sure all of you are aware that the role of telecom in digital world is very, very important today. Practically everything is consumed through the mobile phone. So within next 5-6 days, we would be uploading the telecom bill. I'll request all the participants in this course, and also within your circles, please um, uh, ask your people in your groups to take a serious look at the bill and give your suggestions. The Department of Telecom will take a serious look at every suggestion which comes. We will also be coming up with a new version of the data protection bill, and Digital India Act is in works. And net, what we are looking at is making the online world more accountable for what is published there. So the people who are part of the law enforcement agencies and the policymakers, all of us have a role, but we also need to put a greater sense of accountability within the social media, within the internet, within the technology world itself, so that there is some use of technology in preventing the crimes ab initio. So that would be the thrust of all our legislations. And that is practically the global consensus now within the G20 group, all the digital ministers. There is a clear consensus that yes, we have to make sure that the technology providers are also more accountable for what they are providing. So these are a few thoughts I would like to share. Let's expand the ambit of this course, and let's have a good consultative process through which we can create a new bouquet of digital laws. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your guidance. And I'm sure we'll be able to work for building the 10 more centers, 10 more cyber forensics labs, and ensuring that the ambit of the course is expanded across the length and breadth of the country. Now, sir, I would request Shri Deepak Goyal, GC Cyberlaw, to kindly give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I deem it is a great privilege to have been asked to extend the vote of thanks on the occasion of the inauguration of second batch of online PG diploma program for capacity building on cyber law, cybercrime investigation, and digital forensics. Sir, your presence is in the today's program in spite of your extremely busy schedule is the reflection of the importance you have bestowed to this online program for capacity building on to the stakeholders. Sir, we are inspired by your gracious presence today. Sir, I am really thankful to the consortium heads, Professor Dr. Shri Krishna Deva Rao ji, Honorable Justice Amreshwar Prasad Shahi ji, and Professor Dr. Vijay Kumar ji for conducting this program. But I am extremely thankful to Shri Jaspal Singh ji, Director General Police, for his gracious presence today. My special thanks to CEO NeGD, Shri Abhishek Singh ji, for taking the initiative in conducting the program. Sir, in the last, I would like to pay special thanks to Shri Rakesh Maheshwari sir, Dr. Silahu Rao, and Dr. Somnath from the ministry for contributing in this particular program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.